Blue Moon, new film from Richard Linklater starring Ethan Hawke, Bobby Cannavale, Andrew Scott, and Margaret Qualley. Nominated for 2 Oscars, Best Original Screenplay and Best Leading Actor for Hawke. The film is a character study based on a real person, takes place in 1943 over a single evening in the life of Lorenz Hart, a famous Broadway lyricist who is grappling with the realization that his writing partner is moving on and the best parts of his career might be in the past. He's grappling with his alcoholism that he cannot shake and with the fact that he's fallen hopelessly in love with a woman half his age, despite, up until that point, being a gay man. So I like the film for what it is, although some things have to be mentioned. One, from what I've read online, it might not be true to life in terms of portraying the character of Hart accurately. Now, I'm not a fan of Broadway myself or its history, so I don't know too much about that. And approaching it as just a film without the baggage of real history, I didn't have a problem watching it. So I think this will depend on how invested you are with the actual Broadway history. Secondly, the movie is very stagey. The entire thing takes place essentially in real time in 3 rooms altogether. And as such, most of its weight rests on the script and the central performance. Thankfully, both are really solid. The dialogue and monologues are well written, eloquent, snappy, captivating. The film has a really fast, kinetic energy to it, a lot of fast talking, especially from Hart, who almost never shuts up. In that way, the movie is kind of reminiscent of the dialogue pace of Casablanca, which it quotes several times. Ethan Hawke is terrific. He's really believable as this complicated character that you feel for and pity and love and hate all at the same time. He's especially good at playing someone who inside is going through a lot of turmoil and worry and is trying, often successfully, to mask that with good humor and being exuberant and outgoing. Not an easy thing to do, and he pulls it off magnificently, definitely deserving of the Oscar nomination. I also liked how effectively the movie tackles the height aspect. So Hart was notoriously short, and so is Hawke in the film, which is achieved through trick photography, forced perspective, and set design, making him noticeably, visibly smaller than everyone else. It successfully creates this illusion that he is this tiny man physically. Andrew Scott has a small but really effective role where he's sort of subtly playing someone who is at his moment of glory, trying to enjoy it, but also being very conscious of all the people around him, and most of all, trying to deal with Hart and his sort of antics. I like the technical aspects too for how stagey the film is. I think it has excellent cinematography and a very warm, cozy feel, thanks to creating the atmosphere of an almost empty but fairly classy New York bar. And finally, I think it was a cool choice to have a pianist in the room as a character, as a source of almost constant diegetic music. So, yeah, I liked it. I think it's fairly sad and melancholic, a sort of tragic examination of a character who, in some ways, is his own worst enemy, but at the same time is not by any measure a bad person. It's a film that adopts a kind of limited framework of a stage play, but within that framework executes very well. Worth seeing, even if just for the atmosphere and for Ethan Hawke.